So greetings, we are at the ResPack conference and I am delighted because I am with Rajesh Kumar Gera. First and foremost, big welcome.
Thank you so much.
And especially your new role, you are advisor and chief strategist, SIES.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with, what has been happening over the last 2 to 3 months because your association with SIS and, congratulations, you
Thank you so
hosted the
much.
SIS awards and we also attended the full day conference that you did at the in Neral, in Navi Mumbai.
Vashi,
yeah, Vashi, sorry. So if you can share, what does it mean to be advisor and chief strategist at SIES School of Packaging, and how did this sort of new innings in your life begin?
So let me start with telling something about SIES.
Of course.
South Indian Education Society, SIES as it stands for, it is almost like 94 years old.
Correct.
We are close to celebrating our 100 years.
Yep.
And SIES School of Packaging, which was established in 2001.
Correct.
So we celebrated the silver jubilee this year.
Correct.
And thanks for your honoring our invitation to come to that Indian Packaging Summit.
Right.
We do Star Awards every year. This was
Correct.
9th edition,
Yep.
and because it was Silver Jubilee, we did Indian Packaging Summit first edition.
Yep.
So if you talk about SIS SOP first, it is basically dedicated to packaging education, research, training, consultancy,
Correct.
all these things. And we are proudly celebrating the 25 years of excellence.
Right.
And we have till date, I'm saying right from Professor Narayan's days.
Of course.
He's the one who started, and we are just carrying out his legacy,
Correct.
trying to go in his footsteps and make sure that India's packaging industry requirements are met primarily in terms of education and skilled manpower.
Correct.
Now, if you talk about SIS, before we go to IPS, we are recognized as a scientific and industrial research organization approved by DSIR.
Correct.
Then we are ISO 9001:2025 certified to do packaging, testing and evaluation
Correct.
services. Then we have been recognized as a gold standard organization in 2025 by Outlook India Care magazine.
Correct.
And just to add one more feather to the cap is that we are also recognized, our courses and institute is recognized by World Packaging Organization, WPO based in Austria.
Correct.
And we are member of International Association of Packaging Research Institutes and International Safe Transit Association.
Got it.
Now, having said that, when we organize this IPS conference, going back to that, we are going to repeat it because we saw a very good response. That was like first time. I mean, so it was a calculated risk for both the attendees as well as for the institute. What is in store for us? Now we are going to celebrate the second edition very soon.
Okay.
So
nice.
this is something about this, and this will go along with our Star Awards function.
Of course, yeah. What I also want to know, I mean, of course, thank you so much for sharing all this because it's also a nice way to recap. Of course, the industry and most of the people who will be watching this are aware of the long legacy of SIS, SOP, Professor Narayanan, and of course, a whole,
all the people
luminaries who have been associated with that. Two things really, because I think that's not as well known that, the campus has shifted out of Nerul, the new campus, the new kind of classrooms, the laboratories, the testing facilities on the first and second floor.
Absolutely.
If you can spotlight a bit of that, and also, of course, the new look of the building, which again, I think will benefit our industry and the fraternity. Yeah.
In fact, and before I go into this, kindly allow me to share the vision of our School of Packaging, and then we go to your point.
Right. But briefly.
Very, very briefly. In one liner, we are a premier institute for, our vision is to be a premier institute for packaging education, training, testing, research and consultancy.
Got it.
So I go with your guidelines to be very, very brief. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
And it was felt about 5 years back by Dr. Shankar and team that this being a entity which needs a lot of testing, many of this transport-related testing, a lot of effluent water, so many things. So let us give them a free hand and a free separate altogether work area.
Correct.
So School of Packaging and IIM, Indian Institute of Environment Management. So IIM, we too shifted to a separate location.
Co-located,
We are co-located in TTC industrial area near Juinagar station.
Correct.
And the whole purpose is to work as an independent individual. And there's a lot of focus by the management, by the SIS management, Dr. Shankar at the helm, to give total freedom of work and thought process, so
to
that
the faculty,
we grow both organically and inorganically in this ecosystem.
Understood. Yeah. You'll be very happy to know that at the moment in Watt Packaging, we have 3 of SIES SOP students. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So because, I mean, not just us, I'm sure the entire industry benefits, but we certainly do benefit. And this has been a tradition since last 10 years. A majority of the team at our magazine and publishing house is from the SIES, either GST or SOP.
Oh,
so
that is wonderful to know that. I'm honored. I'm thrilled to know and maybe interact with them after your...
Correct. So Abhay being one of them, of course, who we have just interacted, whose sort of brainchild is Watt Packaging. Yeah. Right. Mr. Gera, I mean, this is one hat you wear, and I, of course, know you, as a person who has had a long stint in basically laminates, polymers. The first time, I don't know if you remember, I had spotted you, let me put it like that, when you were in, I think it was the Jolly Maker or the Jolly Chambers in Nariman Point.
Yes.
And there was something, Maker Chamber, sorry.
Fair enough.
Correct. And there was this thing that we were doing with the bottle structures.
Yes.
And I think you wanted to lightweight the neck, which you had thought about doing 20 years ago.
Long back, 2 decades.
And then, of course, there was somebody from the blown film side and there was somebody else. And you were sitting, there were 3 very esteemed people in the front. And I was the little Changu Mangu at the back who was listening to this.
I'm getting the message.
So the conversation was very interesting, and you have obviously been extremely passionate about everything to do with PET, which is your forte. I want to know from you, for the benefit of the industry, what's been happening in Indian PET, and you again have been kind enough to share some data points about resin consumption, about how it's growing, and also about what has been the consumption pattern in terms of PET bottle sheets, strapping and monofilm. So if you can share.
Indian PET industry has grown both organically and inorganically, almost always more than GDP of the country.
Okay.
Way back in 97 when I joined Reliance, allow me to say, quote Reliance,
of course,
the total consumption of all India PET was only about 12 to 13,000 tons per annum. So fast forward today, it is last year ended 1.9 million tons per annum. And in this, it is almost like the 13 to 14% average growth rate.
Wow.
There were times when we have grown, we means the Indian industry has grown more than 20% also, but 2 to 3 years. And now for the next 3 to 5 years, it is going to grow at CAGR of 12 to 14%.
Nice.
The recycling industry is growing slowly but surely. It has also grown, and we have the largest recycling rate, one of the largest recycling rate, 92% plus, done by independent consulting company along with the NCL. And the silver lining is, or the beauty of this is that B2B bottle resin, bottle to bottle resin, which is suitable for recycled resin, which is suitable for use in direct food content applications, both food as well as non-food. That is growing now, and I was talking to a couple of them in the last 2 days earlier also, that almost everyone is running more than 50%, some are running at 100% capacity. So this is governed by 2 things. One is by the regulation.
Correct.
So to what extent that has a role to play, that is always a debatable. So without stepping on that, the second thing is the regrind, the B2B resin is right now when we are sitting here is a little more, is economical compared to virgin resin.
Got it.
So there is a delta of 10, maybe around 10% plus. So that is motivating the people to look at B2B resin.
Understood.
At the same time, it is giving an edge on the circularity front.
Got it.
So B2B resin, as such, PET has one of the fastest growth rate compared to other packaging materials. We're not talking about non-packaging applications. Packaging, we are focusing on that. So now the limiting factor was FSI. FSI getting the regulation. So that also we heard Alka Madam yesterday that they are shifting it on the portal from 1st of June.
Correct.
To what extent it helps? Definitely is going to help, but to what extent we have to wait and watch.
Correct.
But certainly it will improvise the system. We have almost like 2.5 to 3 lakh tons of capacity, which is already approved by FSI.
Yes.
Almost something similar to that is on the block to get FSI approval. So, end 2028 or closer to that, we are looking at around 7 to 7.5 lakh tons per annum of B2B resin.
Nice.
Now, having said that, today we are at 1.9. So 7, but it will also grow. So it is always going to be, the demand is going to be more than supply, and this will motivate the industry or the new players to come in. But at times, if the regulation is not supporting, or if there is the resin price fluctuates too much, that may be a period of small mini challenges for the people who have done a lot of capex into it.
So I know you've sort of shared a lot. I'm just going to hold you and make you pause a bit. So two things. Because this was interesting. I'm going to go back to the day where the packaging summit was being held in Vashi, and your opening address, and also a couple of comments you had made there about rPET usage. And I jotted down a few points. I think couple of things.
I'm honored to know that.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm the only one who keeps jotting.
So one of the interesting things that you shared with us was that there are more than 200 collection cum baling centers in India. So that was one very interesting thing. And the second thing which you made as a kind of a throwaway statement was a sort of shift from the unorganized, informal setup, which everybody talks about, to a slightly more formal recycling setup. So again, just to understand from you what is happening in this space, because I think this will be, crucial in terms of determining what will happen.
See, as far as PET recycling is concerned, it is one of the those areas which have gone through that maturity cycle. So when it has been done basically by the unorganized sector, recyclers, or we call them with all respect kabadiwala. So now we do it with different names, with a more respectable storytelling way. Now they are the people who still would be holding 80 to 90% of the industry, recycling industry. There is a slow but sure shift from unorganized to organized. Not that we are getting somebody next from the industry outside, but these people themselves are getting more organized because they have to go into EPR portal, they have to help brand owners with the plastic waste management rules. So this regulation, complying with the regulation have come in, and there is unwritten rule. I mean, the next generation of these people who are coming, at times those people may or may not go into the same business. Same business. So these are the challenges which people are facing. But in time to come, the only way is to internalize them. Right now they are external. So if we internalize them into the ecosystem of structure, that is a win-win for both the parties.
Is it possible to humanize it a little more? At the moment, I mean, I've seen some of the waste collections system, the process, etc. It's extremely dehumanizing. I mean,
I 100% agree with you in context, but the positive side of it, whether it is metal or plastic or paper, I'm not too sure paper, metal and plastic, I've
had an interaction.
So interacting and visiting also. So there's people are slowly making sure, whether it is Banyan Nation or people B level or C level, they are making every effort to ensure that these people are given proper dresses, they are given proper safety gloves and things like that, so they are not hurt in the operations. But still a long way to go. The positive side of it, or the ray of hope, is that people have become sensitized to this, and they are making efforts. And when the next generation comes, it is going to be that these people may be little subdued, or when the next generation comes, they could be in a demand mode also. So the owners have to find a via media between the two and take proactive steps so that they don't go into the second stage where it becomes forced to do that. So Indian industry recycling, irrespective of whether it is paper, plastic, metal, or Tetra Pak, they are becoming worker sensitive.
Focused. Also, something that you mentioned earlier, you were saying about making B2B into recycled, PET flakes, etc. Just curious to know, is there any sort of system in terms of the washing process, in terms of the decontamination, and does this differ from the standard recycling process?
Yeah, of course. The normal your decontamination or the washing process only removes the surfacial impurities.
Only the surfactants.
So when it goes to washing, when we have this special decontamination process under vacuum, that goes and removes the material which have got embedded inside at the molecular level.
Understood.
So it removes it, and it ensures that all these are below all the extractables and all the leachables, the migration specific or overall, those are as specified by the regulation, which again ensures that material which is the bottle or the pack which is made from these recycled materials are food contact safe. So that the overall migration of or specific migration of all the individual stimulants is not more than the specific limit. So this is not possible in the normal washing and decontamination process. It has to go through a special, we call it as a decontamination process.
Got it.
And that becomes suitable for direct use with in bottle to bottle.
Right.
So whether it is for bottle or for sheet and then thermoformed containers, so it goes with. As far as strapping is concerned, it is basically a secondary packaging, so it doesn't go through that. This, but what you have asked is, yes, it is separate separate process. Right. And we have a couple of people who are already from the European side. In addition, now there are a lot of Chinese manufacturers who are not A-mark, but who are coming up close and personal with the European thing, and definitely at much lower cost. Like any other machine, they are at much lower cost.
Of course.
Yeah, India has a long way to go, but I really look forward to where some of our machinery manufacturers in India can rise to the challenge and work with institutes like just a thought, which is extempore, maybe institutes like IIT or packaging institute like SIES School of Packaging.
Correct.
We have Packaging Technology Center.
Of course,
so we can associate with the machinery manufacturers whosoever come forth and make sure that we reduce the time. And it has to happen. The Indian manufacturers, machinery manufacturers have to do what currently these European machinery people are doing it. But already sorting, that lead has been taken by one of the companies in India. Same way, slowly but surely that will happen in the decontamination and extrusion process.
Understood. Makes sense. Again, something that you spoke about short while ago is the use of recycled, which is allowed by BIS for packing of non-food items.
So come again, if you don't mind.
The recycled PET, which is allowed for BIS for packing of non-food items. And then again, the rPET, which is, as you mentioned, you spoke about Dr. Alka Rao, etc., but approved by FSSAI for direct food contact end users. Now, again, I'm just curious to know in this that what is the sort of things that as consumers we need to be aware of in terms of recyclability and sustainability. And secondly, more importantly, again, something that you have been talking of is the availability of quality rPET resin today. Is the
When we talk, there are two things. When we talk about availability of quality recycled PET or quality recycled polyolefins, what we meant is the consistent quality of those materials. Now we are not talking about B2B.
Okay.
I'm just for a moment, I'm separating the two because the quality of the recycled concerns both polyolefins as well as polyester, or for that matter any third material.
Understood.
So there has to be consistency in terms of incoming baled bottles, whether irrespective of the material neutral, I'm saying.
Right.
So you get a consistent quality in terms of color, properties and organoleptic properties, so that the incoming material, once you establish the quality, your output is like would be in the same proportion, not exactly, but and again, more important when it comes to PET, again there is the criteria is that when the bottles which go through decontamination process, but there also as per European law and 91st or even for the process requirement, 95% of the baled bottles which are coming for the process have to be food contact.
I see.
So process will go through. It will go through the process, but the incoming material is being certified as per that.
Understood.
So that is a what you call lookout. As far as consumers are concerned, you and me are concerned, when you're sitting on the other side of the fence, we have to be absolutely no worries, because the bottle to bottle manufacturers, they are very limited. Today we are talking, when we are sitting, there would be around 15 or so, 15 odd number, plus minus 10% here, 1 or 2 here and there. So they are going through that special process of decontamination and using it for direct water and CSD and other applications.
Got it.
There would be at times when it is used only for CSD, not for water. That is purely economics, pure money. I mean, nothing that technically yesterday it was used, today it is not used.
Right.
There is no technical reason. And whether it is even mechanical or chemical recycling of the PET, or if you, for that matter, even biochemical, I'm extending my this thing beyond your question. Even if it is biochemical recycling, which you call it enzymatic recycling, when it comes to that also, all make food grade, food contact grade approved materials. So that way they are safe. Now it is a question of policing whether somebody else is putting into system some bottles which are not made by this process. So that is the key. So that checkmate has to be done by the BIS, FSI, CPCB, and they are doing enough good. The whole thing is that the industry themselves have to do it. Should have done it. But incentives are missing.
Correct.
So the government is stepping in like government of any other country to help people to give them direction. Don't step out this way, so you follow this direction.
The road.
And they have regulations, as you are presumably aware, 30% last year, 40% this year. But I am glad to know yesterday, and otherwise also you would have seen yesterday awards, people have gone 60% and beyond. They have taken trial with 100% post-consumer recycled, especially in the case of HDP. PP still there are some minor challenges in terms of additivization of the material, but HDP people are going beyond, and they have established that consistent quality of finished bottle up to 60%.
Got it. And that which does not fit into all these parameters, it ends up getting used as secondary packaging. So jars and those kind of things. No,
these are going for primary packaging. I'm talking about non-food.
Non-food.
So when it comes to polyolefin, there is a long way to go before it can become suitable for direct food contact. Because even the recycled HDP or PP for food contact is not available even globally. I mean, I'm not this case. I'm talking about the last case when we have been. I've been there. We went around and spoke to the best of people in the recycling industry in all. Remember in K. So not even a single person was having recycled HDP suitable for food contact. Forget India. So there's a long way to go, even globally. For polyolefins. For food contact.
One of the things which sort of emerged in the last 2 days, I haven't attended all sessions at ResPack, but is this thing of traceability. I think there were 3 to 4 presentations. I think panel discussions have been talking about it, and that one of the things that the Indian recycling ecosystem can do is plug this into the whole value chain. So again, because you've been a veteran, you know what's happening on the ground, again the problems it is to operate in a country like India. Some of those conversations that I hear in panel discussions and presentations sounds like science fiction to me. So the question to you is digitalization, AI driven, this SCM for rPET bottles, etc. Just curious to know, is it science fiction or is it doable and tenable for a country like India?
So it is like, in our old, you was our father, our grandfather days, oh, Chanda Mama, so ek din hum jayenge wahan pe. So it is fiction. Fast forward today, having your flag on the chand is no longer a fiction. So it is science and fiction separate. What is fiction today becomes science tomorrow. So having said that, I'm taking the words clue from your words, borrowing it from you. So this is definitely doable, and not only doable, it is already being done. A company in Ahmedabad, if you allow me to name it, is Sitwa. So they are using AI. So they are using AI for sorting. So with every next machine they develop, it is going to improvise. It gets improvised, and not only for plastic. It is for I know for sure because we work closely with them in different for some forums, of the projects. In the past we have worked with them. Now they are also working on apart from plastic, they are working on textiles, glass, metals. So imagine India being the center hub, and there are many things which this Indian company has done it with AI, which for others it is a lesson. So now coming to how AI can be useful in others. So what is being done AI in sorting, the same thing surely will happen in the case of extrusion, washing and other things. So it is absolutely doable thing. Coming to traceability, it is very much important that what you are starting, as I said, 95% bottles have to be food contact. Originally not used for, not more than 5% should be for agrochemicals or some other motor oils or those applications. So traceability, it is app-based, and a lot of development has already been done to ensure that this traceability is in place. There are many majors in India who have done these systems. But when it comes to what will aid in this is the reverse logistic. So the brand owners, because we have worked with some of the companies like High Tech in the past, and we worked with the brand owners and the recycled chip manufacturer very closely to establish or to increase the usage from say 5 or 7% recycled PP to more than 50% now. So these things are very much doable and happening. So reverse logistics, as I said, is to ensure that the brand owners collect it, work with the converter, and it goes back to the brand owner.
Got it. I'll just quickly come to a thing which is your sort of area of interest, which is B2B resins. Because again, we'll have some people from the brand space, etc., for whom two things. One is the nomenclature is a bit unclear, and secondly, they are not yet fully, have comprehended this world. So again, the questions that come to us when we meet them is there a limited availability of food grade rPET resins? That's number one. And in terms of the premium virgin PET resins, which are manufactured by the fossil route, how much is available, and what is sort of the choice that a brand should make in this space?
Sir, it is, as I said, today, as far as virgin resin is concerned, we already are having 1.9 million tons domestic. A lot of being is exported also.
Right.
So as the demand grows, export to domestic shifts can always happen, purely governed by the where the companies make little extra.
Correct.
Now, as far as recycled resin is concerned, there is absolutely no issues in terms of availability.
Okay.
I was speaking to a couple of them today, and I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest, that many of them said that we are running full. Even if I discounted by 10-20%, they are comfortably running, and they have already some of them have gone beyond break even.
Nice.
So and FSI, as Alka ma'am was saying yesterday, that we are now going to portal system, and that will make the things more transparent, more efficient. I mean, transparent means in terms of timelines transparency I'm talking about. So that will make the things easier. The faster the FSI approval comes, the faster the Coke and Pepsi of the world will give them an opportunity to work with them. So availability is not a problem. I know for sure, because I had the opportunity to work with some of the with one of the very well known name in chemical recycling in India, enzymatic. I mean, from the France. So we worked with them for a year. So we know even for the chemical recycling, people are taking interest, which is very highly capex driven, intensive industry, and their plant itself is making not more than 2 ton. Their R&D plant has a capacity of 2 tons per day.
In India?
No,
over there in France.
So that is basically for, I've shifted the topic, for difficult to recycle polyester materials.
Correct.
So that includes textiles also. So that will take some time for come. There are companies who are doing chemical recycling in India based on textiles, or they are venturing into it, 2 of them. But still a long way to go in terms of large scale chemical recycling plants for polyesters.
A follow-up question, because you mentioned some of those manufacturers who are there in B2B for PET resin, and obviously the same people I'm sure both of us have spoken to. I'm just curious to know, this is of course taking care of present need. Are there new lines being commissioned, etc.? Because you're
So as I said, there are already 3 lakh capacity. Then 3 lakh capacity machines have come. By end of this year, 2 to 2.5 lakh ton, and by end of 28 or mid of 29, we are looking at a total installed capacity of 7 lakh ton per annum plus. So, which would, by the time this comes, our virgin resin would have gone to 21. So, 2.1 million, So, 0.7, 2.1, that is 30% of our. So, we are meeting the, even if each and every bottle uses, so we are at, but this is only for food content. As far as non-food content is concerned, you can use 40, 50, 60% of the available recycled PET, which is really available. So overall, if you mix the two, there is not going to be any shortage of recycled PET, food and non-food put together.
That's good news. So based on what you've shared just now, and I extrapolate the data, it looks like we'll have something like 20 new lines being commissioned, approximately.
Yes, in that way. Sometimes it may happen that 2 or 3 lines may be with the same organization. That is going to happen. Because people, it is like a chicken and egg, so whosoever makes the first mover advantage. So it is highly capex, so not everybody ventures.
And you just in passing use the word enzymatic. A, what is that? And B, what is its sort of possibilities for that in India? Because, I mean, people are aware of mechanical, people are aware of chemical recycling. Ye kya hai?
We will do that. But let me also say, before I respond to that, by the time when we end, as and when you wish to end, we will have something on the back to basics of SIES. I'm just saying that, at least I forget, kindly remind me.
Sure.
So, now, as far as enzymatic recycling is concerned, let me allow me to take the name just for reference sake. Was company known as Carbios. So Carbios in France, they are one of the world leaders as far as enzymatic polyester recycling is concerned, and that is going to take place or find its roots very well for chemical recycling of not mainly for PET bottles, because PET bottles are easy to recycle, sab kuch established hai, and there is less portion of difficult to recycle PET bottles, multi-layer bottles and those things, which are very less in India. it will find its base niche for the textile recycling.
Nice.
So textile recycling is something where presently chemical recycling is the only way, to the best of my knowledge. And within chemical recycling, we have the next version is called biochemical recycling, which is enzymatic recycling. It is like a particular key will open only that lock. वही ताला खोलती है. So same way, when these enzymes work, they break the PET only. They act only on the PET molecule. The enzymes have been designed or engineered. Almost like more than 10 years research have gone into it by this company. So they only break down the PET molecules into the monomers.
Got it.
PTA, MEG, and IPA. They don't worry too much about IPA, but PTA and MEG are being used, and then the whole gamut of processes, and finally it is either sold used separately, these two monomers, or they are again converted, polymerized to give you back PET resin.
Understood.
So that is something which will give you a consistent quality of material, free of impurities, free of any organoleptic issues. That way.
So what is it? It's virgin-like monomers.
It is virgin-like monomers which you will get.
Okay.
The PTA and MEG, the specifications of these two monomers, which are the building blocks of copolymer PET, which is used in PET bottle.
Correct.
They are exactly, I'm not saying, I would say exactly similar to what is being fossil-based PTA and MEG, which are used to make fossil root PET resin.
Got it. Got it.
Whether it is for bottles or for textiles.
Understood. Understood. And again, your other favorite subject, applications for rPET. I mean, of course, everybody talks of fiber industry because again, people tend to narrow it down to 3 or 4 applications. Is there a larger world which we have not explored?
So I will start with you and me.
Right.
Whether it is green or whether it is black, people of our age, when we wear the jackets of recycled PET, we look little more smarter.
Right.
I mean, I don't mean other way around. But, we look little more. So these are the ones, and I have those bags, carry bags, which our better halves can use it. It goes into their purse, but when you open it, it is like a big bag. So those things are there. Then when we are talking about recycled PET usages, it finds usages not only in textiles but in engineering applications also. Automotive interiors, exteriors, and what you call in building and constructions, panels, doors, all those things abroad are made out of recycled PET.
IPL cricket team.
IPL cricket team jackets, those are all made out of, all those blue color jackets. My favorite slide used to be in, you see this team yesterday, this is all that. So these are all made out of.
In our office, we have another magazine called Campaign. I think somebody from Adidas or Nike, one of these big daddies, their merchandise.
I missed to mention that.
Most of their merchandise, I think, is from
recycled
polyester.
And that is a win-win. So you charge not 10 or 5 or 10, you charge 30, 40, 50%, whatever brand can kind of
get in,
turn the key.
Anything that again is a red flag, you think, because obviously 2 things: huge demand, so everybody is rushing into it. Some people are making obvious mistakes. So anything that you would say in terms of, say, choice of machinery, in terms of recycled chips, in terms of high-end recycling machines, anything specific that people should know about before they embark?
See, first and foremost, I will start from the other end, like Urdu language starting from the right side. So I'll start from the brand owners first.
Correct.
See, right now, we are hearing since yesterday also.
Correct.
A lot of these things, sustainability, cost and eco-friendliness, these factors are being externalized. They are not taken by the accountant into your balance sheet.
That's true.
So the base, and then they feel that ye recycled resin usse महंगा हो गया. So they show the first red flag. Ideally, it should not be. So before we even talk about this thing, it should be like these parameters should be internalized into the costing.
Correct.
So this is going to be this is a new world. Then like we say, ये नया भारत है.
Correct.
So I'm just taking it positively. So ये नया packaging ecosystem है. So here you have to ensure that whatever you owe it to the next generation, you own the responsibility. Somebody may own it 10%, somebody may own it 30%.
Got it.
At the end of it, if it is 12-15%. So the takeaway from this is that first and foremost, brand owners should be open, and they are.
Correct.
Earlier, when we used to allow me to say Reliance, when part of that. So when we used to go to the brand owners, they will say, whatever is सस्ता है, today, fast forward today, even 4 or 5 years back, they say recycle ho sakta hai ki nahi. Have you designed your chips? Forget bottle. Have you designed your chips for recycling? So they have gone to that level, from the molecule level to the finished bottle. That we call it R2R, resin to recycling. In fact, allow me to use SIES. So we have designed programs where we talk about resin R2R, resin to recycling things. That your whole concept has to be right from the resin stage itself, or recycled material manufacturer. You have to look for the complete recycling loop.
It's part of the syllabus.
It's a part of the syllabus.
Nice.
So these things we have to look into, that you don't overlook it. So once we do that, slowly but surely the cost, and more plants are coming. Sorry, you asked me about the red flag. The red flag here is that when it is like people who are not from the packaging industry, they see ki mera bhai, bhatija, wo sab kar raha hai. So they jump into it. Then it is not that easy. Everything has both science and art.
Correct.
So they look at the art, but there is a science part to it. So once you have grown and matured into it, you will know the finer or not so finer points of it.
Got it.
So one has to basically understand, deep dive into the industry. Like you are the trader in the recycling, then you manufacture a small level, then you come into, B2B, you have matured into that. But if you straight away jump into B2B and you are not knowing the dynamics of the industry, you are definitely asking for trouble. That is true for any industry. So the red flag is study the industry well, study the things well, and if you still want to do it, come and we'll teach you at SIES how to go about it.
Got it.
Allow me to say that.
No, good. It's very good. I'm also curious because we just had Interpack concluding in Düsseldorf, and many people there were looking at waste recycling solutions, and of course the Swiss are there, the Chinese are there, the Taiwanese are there, but there are some interesting Indian companies. I remember Ishtiva Robotics. They've been doing with foreign collaboration.
They had a stall there?
No, I'm just saying. So there are options like that. I'm just curious to know, because you are obviously a keen tech expert in this space. How many more such companies like Ishtiva are there in India today, which Indian a person, an Indian entrepreneur in this space would, should look at?
I'm not saying I know each and everyone who is popping up as a startup, but I believe there's one more company who's probably studying these possibilities like Isitwa, as far as sorting is concerned. But if you ask me whether the NGR or the Arimas of the world, in that ecosystem, I have not come across. But certainly, without naming our premier institutes, whether it is IIT or NCL or others, what I gather, I'm not too sure what is, because sometimes we learn in our one-to-one discussions, so I'm not too sure whose names to be taken in this forum. But certainly, our institutes are working on it. They have made the small, pilot level plants, and they are looking in terms of how to make it commercial. And that is where, as I was telling in the morning to Dr. Lele, that a institute like SIES, we would like to work with them in order to basic polymer science. That is one end of that. Other end, if you see how to commercialize it. So we are networked with the marketing. I'm saying more in my personal capacity and out of my passion, networking. So that is where we are going to work with these, if they allow us to do that, that we work with them on material science at one place, SIS, and in terms of hand-holding with the marketing at the other end. So that is where the need of the day, need of the hour is.
Yes. The other interesting trend that we are picking up, I mean, this is all high-end, capex, etc. But at the consumer level, something interesting we are picking up is this reverse vending machines, public spots, railway stations, and such kind of things. So what is happening in that, and how is that sort of again the way to go for a country like India in terms of a collation, and how much is machine supplier, packaging fraternity a part of this whole thing?
Reverse vending machines really has been a very innovative step, and the original thing happened somewhere in Europe, Italy or Germany, so where these were first introduced, made. Now fast forward to India for the last 10 years, we did a lot of work, part of Reliance and other stakeholders, in using these machines in doing the concept selling to the all the stakeholders, and more important, the government bodies. There were times, I remember, when these glass lobbies used to hand twist us. That is fine. Even the government bodies were not kind of taking their inputs as the final word of God. So there we brought this concept of reverse vending machine and also some kind of bottle crushing units together to convey the message that recycling is definitely feasible if you collect them in one place and then you bale them. And so that way, if you talk today, about 1,500, 2,000, maybe 2,000 plus reverse vending machines are there, and they are all the major airports, railway stations, temples, wherever families get sensitized to this.
Correct.
And you put the bottle, you get some coupons and link to some stores, those kind of things to motivate the general public.
Got it.
But the message got very clear that the problem is not the machine, the problem is you and me who doesn't recycle it. वो जो गाय जो खाती है वो, it doesn't come for the pouch, it comes for the food which is inside.
Correct.
So if we amend our ways, so that is how it is. And that is where RVMs have played their role very well.
Yeah, makes sense. So what keeps you busy now at SIES SOP? What next?
What next? That is a good thing to talk about, and that is what my passion. I mean, I thought PET is the only passion, but I discovered new passions. I'm discovering new passions. Now, the kind of, I'm not saying only SIS, it is true for many of the other institutes also, is the kind of a mini challenge. That is where we have to bring back these institutes to the original level in terms of students intake. We are here because of students.
Correct.
Whether it's any institute, so you owe your existence to them. So, and that is the need of the industry also to get manpower which is ready for the industry.
Yes.
Industry ready skill. So, our first challenge is to, what started in late Professor Narayan's time, we had a full strength of 40, 50. I heard it used to be for 40, 50. I used to go there for taking classes. And it used to be jam-packed house. And I would say, last row wale jara chup karo. So, I used to, so now that scene, we have to bring it back to that level. So, we are having some specialized courses. If you allow me, give me a minute or two to talk about just the headliners. We have a full-time course, we call it postgraduate diploma in packaging science and technology, we call it PGD PST, which is a 2 years course including 6 months internship. And that is our flagship course. It is recognized training program by WPO, World Packaging Organization. It has 6 months internship, and though we call it, we give it 100% placement assistance, but it is 100% placement guaranteed.
Nice.
So there are people, I was talking to a couple of them, people who need really industry ready power, and they are that are getting more and more sensitized when we speak to these people. And the beauty is that students with any degree, whether any graduation degree, whether it is science or non-science, they can apply for it. Because I have come across people, our old alumni, Constantia and many other places who are background of arts, and they are doing equally well, if not better than our people who are science graduates. So people who are in the final year, they can also apply. And very quickly, we have BSc in packaging technology. Then we have in addition to this, we have upskilling courses for working professionals.
Nice.
So we have graduate diploma in packaging technology, which is part-time and online mode. We have distance learning online mode. And last but not the least, we have ICCP. We call it intensive certification course in packaging, which anyone and everyone can do. You need to, it is purely online, self-paced mode, available throughout the year. Moment the registration formalities are over, you can start doing it from the coming Monday. So that kind of things we do. In terms of packaging courses.
So yes, certificate one, I think I can apply for then. I think I will.
If you open your mail, you already have received my email. You already received my email before walking into this.
Agreed.
So you know, no escape for you.
No escape for the rest of the day.
Because I have 3 of my, what do you call, Shole Jasus, who will make sure that you do it.
Do it, right. So, and how the certificate course is what, every Monday for how many Mondays?
It is open throughout the year. The moment registration formalities are over, suppose this week you do.
I understand.
So coming Monday it starts, but you have to do it in those 3
got it.
3 months.
I understand.
It is pre-recorded, you are given email ID of the institute, and towards the end you have faculty interaction also.
Nice.
And there is a
so it's almost
examination
like
at the end. But
so you get your rudimentary knowledge about packaging.
It gives, I call it R2R, resin to recycling, complete loop. We don't deep dive into it. That's not the purpose of it. Then you have 1 year course and all that.
Of course.
That is basically to make you, and approved by WPO. So it is basically to orient you in terms of industry.
So, for example, in Pune, you have the Film Institute, you have an appreciation course about cinema. So, you may not end up becoming a cinematographer or a movie editor, but in 3 months, you understand the grammar of cinema. So
and in those 3 months, they understand.
Adequate.
And if you and me join them,
right.
in those 3 months, and they understand if they need 2 photogenic faces, we are available.
On that note, we'll sort of conclude the session, Mr. Gera.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And thank you for all the sharing. I think it was most wonderful. Before I let you go, I'm going to hand over a copy of What Packaging. This is something the young team has put together. It's younger than 30. And I think you'll be proud to know that many of the people, it's the blood, sweat and tears of many SIES students and alumni.
I will convey this message to the professors and teachers,
of course,
and our staff team who supported them.
I think they'll
back home, I will definitely go and do it tomorrow itself.
Got it. Thank you. So thank you. That was Rajesh Kumar Gera. He's advisor and chief strategist, SIES School of Packaging. And as you know, and as you can see, absolutely passionate about all things rPET. He's almost a mini encyclopedia on that, so you can always consult him when he's not busy with his new assignment at the SIES School of Packaging. Thank you. This is What Packaging from the ResPack conference.